The film starts in a deserted town near California where an archaeologist arrives eager to find gold. 8 years later, he finally discovers it, unaware it belonged to a wicked miner, Jeremiah Stone. Stone was buried with an eerie laugh, and when the archaeologist touched his gold, it magically rose from the ground and reformed his body. Essentially, the moment the archaeologist touched Stone's gold, it became very much alive and approached the archaeologist. Before the archaeologist could say anything, it killed him by striking with its axe and then collected all his blood in a pot. The scene then cuts to Betty, who was the archaeologist's sister. In fact, the archaeologist hadn't been home for quite some time and his mother was very worried. The daughter reassured her, saying that he often wandered off in search of gold and would return soon. Just as the call ended, the daughter received a letter. It was indeed from her brother, the archaeologist. She opened the letter and found a map and a piece of cloth inside. She realized that her brother had truly found the gold and was now calling her to help retrieve it. Although he wanted to go alone, he had gathered his entire group. Now, all of them set off for the town near California. On the way, one of Betty's companions, Axel, stopped by a house to ask for directions. There was an old man there who, upon hearing the name of the town, became frightened and warned Axel not to go there. "The ghost of Jeremiah Stone will not leave you. I think you haven't come here after hearing his stories. He was so vile that even hell refused to take him after a month, and his soul still wanders the earth. He was buried in his own mine. It is also said that Jeremiah Stone was a cannibal. He killed and ate his own wife and children." The old man shows a wanted poster of Jeremiah Stone from years ago. It belonged to the old man's grandfather. The grandfather lost his hands trying to capture Jeremiah Stone, but no one could ever catch him. Axel told the old man, "Give me your poster for 40. Axel thought he had fooled the old man, acquiring something worth thousands of dollars for just $40. However, he was the one who was actually fooled because the old man had many such posters inside his house. He would tell stories about Jeremiah Stone to people and collect money from them. Although he himself didn't believe in anything about Jeremiah Stone, the old man made money by narrating these tales. Jeremiah Stone was angry about this, but today the old man had made some money. After today, he wouldn't earn more as Jeremiah Stone came to kill him. He threw his axe from behind, stabbing the old man in the back, and blood spread everywhere. It seems the old man was killed by Jeremiah Stone. The group had now reached the town. Upon arriving, Axel noticed his watch was missing, a gift from his fiance's mum. His fiancée got very angry with him. So, Axel started searching for his watch before doing anything else. He didn't find the watch, but here. A local girl named Eve met him and asked, "Is this what you're looking for?" Axel nodded in agreement and they had a brief conversation. Eve mentioned that she lived nearby with her art. During their conversation, they heard a scream from Axel's fiancée. People ran away in panic. Axel's fiancée was frightened by the pigeons present there. The town was empty, so her scream echoed far and wide, attracting the attention of the sheriff. In the community, people were familiar with each other as they lived closely. The sheriff saw Eve and asked her about her aunt, and then proceeded to ask the entire group what they were doing there. "Why have you come here?" She was about to tell them the truth, but her companion put a hand over her mouth and lied to the sheriff, saying they were only here for camping. The piece of gold she was going to show to the sheriff was also taken by her companion and handed to another girl. Hearing about the camping, the sheriff began to suggest famous places they should visit. Then Eve said she would guide them. Before they left, the sheriff warned them that the road ahead was very bad, so they should only take one car and keep away from the area ahead. Essentially, the sheriff was preventing them from going to the very place they had come for. He was preventing them from reaching the mainland, the reason people came here. Axel, who had come into the possession of a valuable piece of gold, was contemplating making an escape from this place. She did not waste any time and ended up having a confrontation with her fiancé, and they began to make their departure. However, before she could get very far with the gold, Jeremiah Stone appeared and caused her car to crash. Subsequently, he pulled her out of the vehicle, grabbed her by the hair and with his knife severed her head from her body, reclaiming his gold from her hand. Meanwhile, the entire group had reached the end of Jeremiah Stone. They went inside a cabin, the same cabin where Jeremiah Stone had died and from where he was buried. It was at this place that Jeremiah Stone had also killed some archaeologists, including the brother of the party. Although they didn't find Betty's brother there, they did find his bag, which contained a part of the storm map. Following this, Betty explained that they would easily reach the gold. Now Eve, who lived in the same town, was with them. As soon as she heard the word treasure, she became frightened. She panicked and said, If you've come here for the treasure, you'll just end up dead." Saying this, she left and went straight home. She told her aunt that they had come here for the treasure. Aunt reassured her and explained that they would face the consequences of their actions. "You cannot stop it, but you should not go near them." However, Eve could not bear to see them die like that. She decided to go back to help them. As soon as she left, her aunt called Sharif to inform him that Eve's life was in danger and told him everything. Meanwhile, all these people following you reached a hidden place filled with nothing but treasure. Seeing this, it was truly a test of their happiness. They even forgot that the brother of the young girl who had provided them with a map to get here was still missing. Greed had completely blinded them, and they filled their bags with as much treasure as they could possibly carry and decided to come back the following day for the remainder of the treasure. As darkness was drawing near, staying there out of greed would make it difficult to reach the car. It was demonstrated here that Chinmaya Stone also. She had come to alert those people, but Janmashtami felt that she was also after his treasure. Therefore, he grabbed Eve by the neck and stabbed her in the stomach with his axe, killing her. It was shown here that the whole group had gone camping, and when you, XL, went alone, Sharif caught you there. Sharif thought Beanie would be with the people, but when he saw she wasn't with Kevin, he left them there and went away alone. Anyway, during their conversations, we saw that one of their friends had also taken a gun because he felt someone might steal the treasure from him. The person who brought the gun to kill had even more dangerous intentions. He didn't even want to share with his friends. From his words, it seemed as if he was considering his friends as obstacles because the fewer the people, the larger his share. Hearing this, everyone was shocked and troubled. Just as they were contemplating this, a shadow appeared from a far house. Upon closer inspection, it was revealed to be Janma or Stone, who first frightened everyone by throwing an axe. Everyone else ran away in fear to save their lives, except for the one with the gun who was relying on it. He didn't know that Janma Stone was already dead. And now, it's impossible to kill him with the gun or in any other way. He fired bullets at the stone rapidly, but they had no effect, and seeing this, he too became frightened. He thought of escaping from there, but before he could get away, a girl got into a car. Before she could drive away, Chamahat Stone threw his axe from a distance, which broke through the windscreen and struck her head, killing her instantly. Seeing these, the others were terrified and started running in the opposite direction. Upon reaching there, they saw that the man with the gun was already preparing to escape alone in his car. He was preparing to escape alone, leaving his group behind. However, Janmaya Stone would not let him get far. Janmaya Stone grabbed the steering wheel of his car through the side window and swiftly turned it, causing his car to completely spin around and crash into another car present there. The collision resulted in an explosion, and he was also burnt to death in the blast. The remaining trio of individuals was thoroughly petrified after observing the scene. Upon seeing the stone visage of Janmashtami, they were absolutely astounded. They hastily escaped from Porticard and encountered Eve's aunt, who kindly took them into her residence to protect them. Eve's aunt informed them that they should never have disturbed his gold. Anyone who pilfers his treasure rouses him, and whenever he is roused, he causes destruction. Now, he will not show mercy to any of you. Subsequently, Eve's aunt narrates to them and to us the ancient tale of Janmashtami or Stone from the year 1851. Maharashtan would pilfer gold from others whenever he desired. When everyone returned to Janmashtami to reclaim their gold, he seized a girl as a hostage and menaced to end her life. Everyone implored Janmashtami Stone to rescue the girl, but he exhibited no compassion. In the presence of everyone, he hanged the girl and savagely ended her life with an axe. This was observed by all. In their rage, everyone present commenced shooting at him with intense fury. They all anticipated that he would perish, but despite the multitude of bullets, despite that, he did not succumb to death because he had already bartered away his soul. He was genuinely a cannibal because he had. In front of the entire gathering, he bit his finger and then spat his blood upon everyone, cursing them that whoever dares to steal his gold, he shall awaken and kill them. After uttering this, he retreated into his lair and fell asleep there. Since that fateful day, whenever anyone discovers his gold, he awakens, kills everyone, completes his mission once more, and then returns to his slumber. Now, you have awakened him, and he will only return to his sleep after killing you. The group inquires if there is any possible way to escape. They are informed that the only way to survive is to return his stars. I shall put it back. Even the smallest piece must be returned, otherwise the curse will not be lifted. However, they did not know who had the small pieces. They were told to summon him to his own mind and use dynamite to bury his mind. Perhaps then he might die. They were planning this when the Janmahaya Stone arrived at their home. He picked up a lantern to burn the Janmahaya Stone, but from a distance, Janmashtami threw his axe and the lantern shattered, causing a fire to break out simultaneously. Due to falling on top of it, 8 was also burnt and killed here. After this, They grabbed the throat of one of the group members before he could kill him. Another companion cut off his hand with his own axe, and then they ran towards their brother with dynamite, the pick ammo. Meanwhile, he picked up his axe to replace his severed hand. Outside, the three of them were planning to lure Janmashtami into the mine by putting all the gold there and then destroy it with dynamite. Now, they went inside the mine to place the dynamite while the daughter remained outside. To activate the dynamite mechanism, the Chamai stone had also entered his mind. Observing them present, he was consumed with fury and launched an attack with his axe, causing them injuries. They were gasping their final breaths. Before Janmashtami could entirely surrender them, she swiftly took a seat. Upon arriving, Janmashtami begins the player consultation and then attempts to escort her two companions outside, but Excel declines to exit because he was determined to utterly defeat Janmashtami. Consequently, she exited with her companion while Excel stayed behind. The bombs exploded, killing Excel. Morning had come. The group and their companions survived. They realized they still had some treasure. Quickly, with the sun, they tossed the treasure bag away, just as the sheriff's precursor arrived. The sheriff saw them and, to help, gave them his own and started inspecting the area, which was intact the night before but now mysteriously damaged. There was no info about the night's events. He found a bat there, still worn by Barty and his companion. Soon as he picked it up, the ground unexpectedly split open and once again the charmed stone emerged. It came back to life to wreak havoc, and now what will it do next? With this intriguing mystery, the story concludes here.